All right, Leo, let's get into your reading. So this is happy birthday to all my beautiful, beautiful Leos. We're going to do some intuitive tarot for you. I'm MJ. I'm the founder of Ultra Love. And if you resonate, you can feel free to book a private reading. Let me know in the comments and all that if you do be resonating. Divine guidance and loving clarity is my intention with tarot. Divine guidance and loving clarity. We will do a little shuffle. And again, it's pure intuitive, the way I lay the cards and the interpretation of the messages. So again, you're resonating with the energy here is super duper important. Don't take anything if it doesn't resonate with you. Give yourself that space and time. So I'm getting the sun shining on you a lot, and that for some of you, you're not feeling full power. There's possibly some people in your life, specifically, there's this Queen of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like somebody's facing you and challenging you. This is also feeling a little testy, a little aggravating in the heart space. There's the Queen of Wands, which then makes me feel like, don't worry, you will come back to your full power. And or you're also dealing with an Aries sign. So I'll just pull some clarity on all these. You're definitely, I do, again, there's such powerful energies happening mid to late July and into August with Venus going retrograde and nodal shifts. And you know, I always look at it from that evolutionary perspective of things are moving in an optimal direction, even when they don't feel like it, even when we don't think it, right? But definitely for you guys, with regards to your sense of beauty and your sense of power, you could be thinking of making some changes, or, pardon me, there's somebody in your midst, again, possibly an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who it's like they're poking you, they're testing you. I don't think they mean harm, but the way that they're testing you is definitely triggering this sense of like aggravation, irritation, which could lead to some emotional purge, some heart awakening. Okay, because we do have the Three of Swords that's in the reverse. Yeah, you're definitely going through like a rebirth, the Death card. So for some few of you, there could be a loss as well. There could be someone transitioning in your life. Again, a Queen of Swords, mother figure, grandmother, aunt, you know, this is obviously a female. And that, on that level, that could be part of the challenge and the heartache and the grief that's approaching, is that somebody in your world is maybe not doing very well. And again, if it, say it is a mother figure, a familial relation, it's somebody who's maybe challenged you throughout your life, right? And now they're not feeling well, and you're like, whoa. So this is part of the drainage of energy. Some of you are dealing with stuff in your personal life that is just challenging, right? So yeah, it feels like this energy is like limiting you from taking a new beginning, or maybe taking a new job, or being able to invest in yourself. So it's this transition of having to maybe invest in some other people, really evaluate or reevaluate some of your relationship dynamics as well. Yeah, Leo, like there's definitely this halt there. So it's like, for, again, only if it's resonating, right? But there's this halted energy, this, and again, it's likely an ego death, a total transformation, a total rebirth, possible grief and loss. That is, so you can feel it. It's like you can feel that there's these new beginnings afoot, that there's maybe new love and new money and new stuff, and yet there's possibly an awareness of having to go through this grief or go through this pain, or loss, potential heartbreak, heartache, to then renew. And I mean, knowing that Venus is going to be then moving forward, I think early September sometime, Venus starts to move forward. I would dare say by September, there will be some relief. There will be a sense of empowerment, right? There's a sense of you coming back more fully restored as well. Something about like undeniable transition. It's like reaching the peak of a mountain, or being your full self, and then life throws you curveballs or things then start to ensue that rebirth you, right? And you're different. Maybe you don't feel as powerful, but you feel more grounded. Maybe you're not feeling as sort of cosmically connected, but you're feeling more embodied. And then the sun, there is the sun at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. So that's, again, there's this gentle unfolding. You're going to have to be patient and take your time. You are the fixed fire sign, though. So there's a strength here in you committing to this rebirth. For some of you guys, this might feel like a tower moment. The shit, like this change, the sudden shift where you're thinking you're moving to this direction, and then somebody comes in, it's like, oh God. But again, there's something within this I guess story, right, where you're just, because the tower moments, and I was sort of thinking this but didn't say it necessarily, it's like the tower is indicative of things that are out of our control. They're sort of destiny points where a bunch of rugs get ripped out from under us. And I mean, from my perspective, those often are representative of ego death, because that aspect of self has to die for us to be reborn, for us to see things anew, for us to alchemize energies in our heart, to be more fully whole, right? More fully complete and recharged in ourself. And when we've gone through losses, we might start to feel more recharged, and it doesn't mean that our life is going to look the same. It doesn't mean we're going to look the same necessarily. And that's part of it too. On the other side, some of you might make some changes to your appearance, or you might go through something on that ego death level that when you reemerge, you're like different, you look different to people. You again appear more grounded, possibly. There's definitely this energy of reawakening the heart, renewing the heart, which personally, again, I find heartache and those situations in life, when we're present enough, they really do alchemize the heart. They expand us. They rekindle our connection to the inner child, as it were, and or simply the aspects of the child that were abandoned or denied. There's that renewal energy. This is connected to the heart. Just be really gentle with yourself, because it could feel a little jarring. There is a certain amount of strength that you're having to really tune into, align with, like sort of a fierceness, which, as again a fire sign, you have that ability to conjure or cultivate that fierceness. There again, that's part of that. There's that cocooning and that nourishment and that self-care and the home and the family and all that. And then there's the lone wolf, right? There's that aspect of us still within orienting ourselves and in community, right? There's still a strong desire, I think, within many and within the collective, to still be fully yourself, to be fiercely yourself, even. And this is also part of that reevaluation or rebirth, right? That's taking place in your life, that you're having to rediscover a bit of maybe a fierceness or a focus, where you're connected to your heart and you've got all that experience under your belt, as it were, that's helping you to create momentum. Yeah, so those of you that maybe are or can feel a bit of a tower moment on the approach, the best advice here is to withdraw, to really take the time to go within and heal the heart and get clear on where you're going, what you're doing. Because for some of you, you might almost bypass. If you withdraw from a situation, if you let your energies withdraw, you can kind of bypass the shock factor of a tower moment, which again, rug ripped out, foundations that just aren't strong enough. And it's like we can get to a certain level, the foundations were strong at that level, but for us to renew, that level starts to break down. So the foundations are almost sort of like decaying from underneath us, that then sort of swallow aspects of our lives. But of course, we then get reborn. We become anew with a new level of awareness, integrated wisdom. I also get this sense of, as you integrate, it's all simultaneous. So it's like when we pull back or surrender in the hermit, there's a whole bunch that's going on behind the scenes we can't necessarily see, but there's a preparation for the new life and a new, very beautiful, expansive life. Because I pull the 10 of cups, which I dare say in this deck you can't. It's just the 10 of cups. It's like full-fledged, feeling amazing, knowing that you've got, the world is your stage, and the light that you shine is just this beautiful rainbow effect, right? So just give it a bit of time. There's this clock with the wheel of fortune, the fortune shifting for you. Just give it a bit of time. Don't rush, because we can't. It's so annoying. I'm an Aries sun and Mercury, so it's like I have a lot of cardinal energy as well. So you really get that impulse, that like get it done, that inner pressure, as it were. So, and yet there's situations in life that would appear to me to be just unavoidable. We can't rush. We can't force, or we're mature enough, wise enough, and aware enough to not force and try to control, and to lean into spirit, right? To lean into that deeper capacity within self that can help guide you through this next phase, which again, fortune, there's greater quietude and stillness, power, grounded power too, right? It's not lofty. For some of you, you might be called, and I personally resonate with this, and quite a few people in the community resonate too, where it's like being called to more meditation, right? Being called to giving yourself a bit of time in your day to turn within, maybe have your journal to hand, right? Yeah, this came through recently, another reading too, the take flight energy. And that's that sort of promise that things will lighten up, things will evolve, things will grow. The seeds you've been planting. It's like, again, the hermit mode, after going through substantial shifts, changes, losses, the regenesis is often through that complete withdrawal in the hermit mode, or complete cocoon, and just trusting that healing regenesis phase, right? Because then the cards are sort of saying, if you really let yourself drop into that stillness and that space, on the other side, you're going to feel amazing. And life will continue to kind of allow you to soar, allow you to take flight, as it were, right? And again, for some of you, there's this sort of just tuning into your inner flame, your inner truth. It's like then you start to spark the light within you in this renewed sense of self. And then, of course, as we light our own flame, we start to shine a little brighter. And then, right people, circumstances, things will, of course, just naturally manifest into our world. So there's some, turbulence early on, and or something that you're well aware of in your own world, as far as somebody that's challenging you, a situation that's going through a rebirth, possibly with a female in your life, a sister, a mother, or a grandmother, right? And yes, you're anticipating these new beginnings, but you know that you've got to go through this process and alchemize this healing phase or heal this relationship dynamic, right? And then it kind of allows you to come back to yourself a little different. Maybe you feel a little bit shaken, a little less powerful, but then as you continue to really drop into that healing space, cocoon, it's like the hands of time are going to naturally allow you to heal, and then the appropriate things to make manifest. And then eventually you'll feel that restoration of your energy. You'll feel that increased focus and determination, and again, fierceness, because you are a fire sign. Like into the king of the jungle, there's this sort of powerful, heart-centered leader or warrior, but in that compassionate warrior that's standing up for the truth and the rights of all, right? So there's definitely something about the Leo energy being highlighted and being seen, and how through that elevation of the heart within the collective, of course, our values are going to change, and how we see power, how we perceive power, how we see beauty, how we perceive of beauty within self and other. These sort of values are changing, right? And so no doubt all of us, Leo included here, are going to be having experiences which are shape-shifting us, but for the better, even if it's painful in the meantime, or painful in that kind of alchemical emotional healing phase. Stay strong, Leo. You are strong, and helping the collective make these positive changes. So thanks so much, Leo. Have a great month of August. Again, happy, 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 happy birthday, Leo. I'll look forward to seeing you guys real soon. We do some daily reads. We do weekly readings here. Sometimes I'll do the weekend. And then the monthlies as well. And from time to time, I'll do some intuitive shares, and I'll typically do maybe 1 or 2 yoga videos for the Patreon community as well. So feel free to check out the Patreon community, the apparel, and of course, if you want to book a private reading, you can check the description box below, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Take care. Peace out.